In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at copying images between Photoshop and Flash and what to do about some of the problems that we get. So I'm going to go over to Flickr and find this really great image, Ryogan the search dog, and this is actually for a tutorial on quick and dirty lasso tool in Photoshop, which is an excellent image for us to use. So I'm going to copy this image, go to Photoshop, make a new image, and paste that image into it. Now, in order to do a quick and dirty selection, you can use the magic wand and you can select the black areas of the photo. If you haven't done this before, it's a really easy technique to select areas that are contiguous colors, meaning the same color, that are in large areas, and get a fairly decent selection. It's not the best method for professional selections, but you'll see that with this particular image, I get a really nice selection around the dog with just a couple clicks. Now I can remove that part by hitting the delete key, and then I'm going to turn off my background just so you can see that what I really have there is just the dog isolated on the background. I'm also going to remove this little bit of text here over on the bottom right hand side. Let's make sure that we're on layer 1 when we try and delete it. Anyway, I now have a selection of just this dog alone without any background, and I'd like to be able to get this into Flash with the same transparency. So one of the very first things that I might try doing is selecting the dog with maybe Control C, so I can select everything, Control A, then copy, go to Flash, create a new document, and paste. Well, it looks alright when I see it on a white background. I don't really notice any problems. But as soon as I change my background in Flash to a different color, let's say that we want it on a dark red, you'll notice that when we copied and pasted from Photoshop, we actually got white everywhere. That's because it's impossible for us to copy and paste from Photoshop properly and get the transparency that we need. So instead, what we need to know is how to export our image from Photoshop using transparency. The very first thing that we want to do is try and trim our image so that we have as little of extra pixels that are going to be sent out with that image as possible, or saved with that image. So image trim is a really nice command in order to get rid of any transparent pixels. So it looks like I need to reapply that because I didn't look at it carefully. I need the top left pixel color. Or let's see, transparent pixels should work. For some reason I have some colors that are not completely transparent. So I'm going to make sure that I go back and look at that. Image, trim, transparency. Ah, there we go. So I must have had something over there in that bottom right hand corner that was not transparent. Anyway, I'm going to go to Save for the Web and Devices. Instead of JPEG, let's use PNG24. The nice thing about PNGs is that they're able to save transparency. Now I can do Save. This is going to be my dog 2. And I should put Ryogan, the name, but that's okay. Now I'm going to just delete that and import this new PNG file. Import to stage, and then there's the new picture. And you'll see that that picture has come in with transparency perfectly. So using PNG files, you can really do a lot of great stuff with transparency. Now I do want to point out that you can actually do more with transparency than just that. I'm going to delete this background just so it's not in our way, and I'm going to create a quick mask for this particular photo, and then go to the gradient tool and create a mask that, oops, I need it to be the opposite direction, that kind of has the dog fading in. Now, if I save this as a PNG, save for the web and devices, this is the dog 2B. Doesn't really matter the name for this. Now I can import him to stage, and you'll notice that he comes in with all the transparency that we had from that mask. So using a PNG is really the most effective way to get stuff from Photoshop into Flash with all that transparency. Thanks.